All right, to all of my brothers and sisters out there in Kansas City, Missouri, this is indeed a great day to be alive. It's the day the Most High Heavenly Father made. We should rejoice and be glad in it. Make a left-hand turn at the next corner.
This one?
Yeah, make a left-hand turn. To my brothers and sisters that's participating in the community event, we took off and we started working on something a couple of years ago, and we brought these things before the Park and Recreation Board in Swope Park. Now, we tried to beckon to get our brothers and sisters to meet me out there so that we could address this particular thing. However, there was nobody there but me. But we off to a running start. And see, now we got community participation. So to all the brothers and sisters that have contributed money on behalf of these children, to all of the parents that have been bringing their children out here to participate in the community event, let me let you in on what it is that we're aiming to do. It's already reached the attention of the city officials. It's only going to be a matter of time. Pull over right here. Before it's only going to be a matter of time before we get to the place to where we're able to deal with these people. But we want to have one mind, and I want to show you what we're reaching for. So we're going to get out. And we're at one of the local parks that's about 10 minutes from Swope Park. And this is what I want to show you. Sorry, bro. Because this is what we want this. We want this for our children too. And see, it's time out because this is the same district. We're in the same district. And there being money allotted for some of these other parks that's in the same exact district. However, our district is going neglected. When we're talking about we don't want our children skating at the bandstand on hard concrete where they can hurt themselves, they need to be facilitated. This is what we're talking about. You see this? This is a skating arena. And it's particularly built for skating. It's particularly built for skating. Now, these people, they don't pay no different taxes than we pay. This park is in the same community. It's in the same district. This is still the 5th district in Kansas City, Missouri. And so when we talk about self-awareness, when we become aware of things that's available to us, it's up to us to do it. And that's what makes the community event so beautiful, is because nobody is doing this. We are doing these things for our own self. Yeah, but it's more work to be done.
Okay,
So
and we need to take donations from people to try to get this, make this happen in our own neighborhood.
yeah, yeah, and that's what we're gonna do.
They got safety guards up here. You see all these safety guards right here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we need them to build this in our community.
That's right.
For the children.
That's what we.
Okay.
That's what we working on. That's what we working on.
Big enough
So
for everybody.
So these community events, it's a purpose behind. It's a purpose behind it. It's a purpose behind it. And what we attempting to do and what we aiming to do is we're aiming to pull our people together. So that when we stand up and start speaking, we can speak with one voice. And that's why it's so important for any of you brothers and sisters to understand the sense of community. Nobody have to designate you a particular thing to do. Whatever God put on your heart to do to make a community event better, you play your role, you play your part. And when you play your role and you play your part, then you feel good because you now have become a part of something that is great. That's great. And for everybody that have contributed money, in them last 2 weeks, we have passed out over $1,500 worth of skates for the children. We raised another $400, and then we got brothers outside. Their brother just called me today, went by his house. Here's another $100 for the children. We got brothers that's outside of the skating event through the course of the week that's still bringing forth money because they recognize now everybody that have ever gave money, that's something that people are making happen. That's your voice that's speaking loud and clear. So everybody that participated in this community event, when we start dealing with these officials and these city officials and these politicians and these parks and recreation, when we start dealing with them, we'll deal with them with one voice. So everybody that have ever had a hand in participating, like I said, whether you're a parent that brought your children, that's participation. That's playing a role. Whether you're the children that's being recipients of the skates and skating, That's participation. That's playing a role. Whether you're the people behind the scenes that's fueling and being responsible for producing the money so that we can make these things happen, hey, that's participation. That's playing a role. And everybody, whether you're the person out there that's cooking the hot dogs for the children, whether you're the person out there that's being responsible for the community shirts and things like that, those are roles that are being played. And everybody that's playing a role, when you get the call, when we pull everybody's name out of that hat and say, listen, we need for you to come and lift up your voice because this is what we are reaching for, you understand that when it happens and when it takes place, nobody gonna be talking about what Michi done, what Brother Milligan done. It's gonna be what we all done. And all of us gonna take the credit for everything that's happening. Everybody that's been participating in that part is taking the credit for themselves, because one person by themselves can only do so much. But when you put all of us together, it ain't no limits to what we can get done. So I wanted to put the spotlight on that to show you that these community events ain't just for nothing. So it's going to be imperative in the days to come that our grown folks understand how important it is to have discretion. Because when those cameras show up, as we said before, when those cameras show up, they're going to put a spotlight on the negativity of our people. They're not going to put a spotlight on the fact that everything that's being done has been community funded. They're not going to put a spotlight on that. They're not going to put a spotlight on the fact that the DJ ain't getting a dime, that the people cooking ain't getting a dime, that everything that's being motivated and being done is for the sake of the children and it's coming out of people's own pocket. They're not going to put the spotlight on that, but we don't need them to put the spotlight on that. So what they're going to put the spotlight on, they're going to put the spotlight on adults that don't have no discretion, the adults that's out smoking their weed in front of the children. They're going to put the spotlight on whiskey bottles that's laying around. And nobody's saying that you can't do it, because as grown-ups, it's a certain way that we need to conduct ourselves, especially when we with children. We're working on something great. And if it'll work with one thing, it'll work with 10 things. So on this Tuesday, let us arm ourselves with this fact. Listen, when you want to do grown-up things, start practicing now on not doing it in the midst of the children. You want to drink? You want to have your mixed drinks? Let's start working on putting our drinks in a cup. Don't come to the park and set your Hennessy bottles and your wine bottles on the tables and all of these things. Because when those cameras show up, you don't want that. You don't want that there. The Bible tells us don't let our good be evil spoken of. And so when we're trying to do something good, you got to understand that there's going to be people looking for anything evil that they can use to speak in a negative way against what it is that we're doing, so that they can continue to keep robbing and stealing from us and from our community. So peace and blessings.